So block 4, which is about electricity and magnetism, and we'll start topic 4.2.2, which is electric current. The learning objective, first these are the learning objective of the topic. You should be able to define current, the formula which we can use to calculate the current, and the direction of conventional current and the electron flow. What is the concept of the current? Current is refers to rate of flow of the charges. So the flow of the charges in the circuit is refers to electric current. Example, we have a material. Say this is a material, and we have charges inside the material. Say there are 5 charges. Example, and from one end of a conductor to another, these 5 charges are able to flow. Like initially, 5 charges are at near position A, and that they move to new position B. So current is refers to how many charges, number of the charges moving through a circuit in 1 second. So if I say the charges, there are 5 charges, or example 5 coulomb of a charge, which take from A to B, it took 2 seconds to flow. So what is the meaning of the current? The current refers to number of the charges every second or per second. Which can flow through a material. So number of the charges per second flow through a material, we call that as electric current. So here in the beginning we have 5 charges, like 5 coulomb of a charge, and they move from position A to position B. So as the 5 coulomb of a charge move from position A to position B, so what are the total number of the charges? That is 5. And how much time they took? They took 2 seconds. So if the 5 coulomb of a charge took 2 seconds, but what is the electric current? Current means every second how many charges are there. So in 1 second, how many charges will be there? X. When we cross multiply, so it will be 5 divided by 2 is equals to X, or X is equals to 2.5 coulombs every second. So if 5 coulombs are moving in 2 seconds, so it means 2.5 coulomb of a charge is moving every second, and this coulomb per second, how many charges are able to flow every second, what we call that as electric current. So current is basically a flow of the charge passing through a material every second. So if you want to calculate a current, there's a simple formula that current is basically number of charges flowing through a wire every second. So if you want to find the current, it is charge divided by time. And current is represented by letter I. Charge is represented by letter Q, and time is denoted by letter small t. So I is equals to Q by T. So if I say example, we have a material and there are 10 charges. There are 10 charges moving through a material from one end of a conductor to another in 5 seconds. So it took 5 seconds to move from one end of a conductor to another. So what is the current? Current is a flow of the charges, because we have 10 coulomb of a charge. So the total charge which will flow out, that is 10 coulomb. And how much time it took? It took 5 seconds. So 10 divided by 5. So that is equals to 2. And what about the unit in which we measure the current? The unit of the current is ampere, and it is denoted by letter A. So the current in this example is 2 ampere, which means there is a flow of 2 coulomb of a charge every second. So the rate of the flow of the charge is refers to electric current, and it is denoted by letter I and measured in a unit known as ampere or milliampere. If it's very small, we use milliampere, but normally SI unit is ampere. Then there are two ways we represent the current. One is called a conventional current. So example, if you have a battery, big line of a battery is representing a positive terminal, small line is representing a negative terminal. So there are two ways which we can represent the flow. One is known as the conventional current. Another one is known as the electron flow. So what is the conventional current? The conventional current is always from positive terminal to negative. So the movement from positive terminal to the negative, the direction when we represent these arrows, so we call that as a conventional current. But what is electron flow? Electron flow is always opposite to direction of conventional current, so it is from negative to positive. The electron move opposite to direction of the conventional current, so they're always from negative to positive. So you have to, because electrons are negative, so they're attracted towards the positive terminal. Whereas conventional current is actually opposite of electron flow, which is from positive to negative. So when we are representing the flow, it can be a conventional current which is from positive to negative, or it can be an electron flow from negative to positive. As you can see, the two circuits here, uh, below the battery is shown, a cell is shown here, not a battery because it's a single unit. So left hand side there is a positive terminal, and on the right hand side there is a negative terminal. So if I say what is the direction of conventional current, so how to represent a conventional current? So it is from positive to negative. This is how we represent the conventional current. But if I say show the direction of electron flow, so electron flow is opposite to direction of the conventional current, so it is from negative to positive. So this is how the electrons are moving. Same way, as you can see, we have a battery here. If we want to represent the conventional current, so the big line is representing a positive terminal, where a small line is representing a negative terminal of the battery. So when we represent the flow from positive to negative, as we close the switch, we call that as a conventional current. And opposite, if we want to represent the electron flow, that is from negative terminal to the positive terminal. So this is how we represent the two flows. So the more the charge passes, like if we pass more charge through a wire every second, the higher current will be there, or the rate of the flow of the charge is known as electric current. And if we want to measure the current, there's an instrument which is known as ammeter. On the screen you can see this is how the ammeter looks like. But in a circuit, we don't draw the whole component, we just use a circuit symbol. So circuit symbol for ammeter is denoted by letter A. And how you identify it's an ammeter? So on the screen you can see that it is written A. So whenever A is written, it means it's an ammeter, and the purpose of this ammeter is to measure the current. So this example, 10 seconds, 60 coulomb of the charge is flowing around the circuit. Calculate the current. So if you want to calculate the current, how we can calculate a current? 10 coulomb is a unit of charge. So this is, sorry, 10 second, 60 coulomb. So 60 coulomb is a charge, and 10 second, what is this? This will be a time. So if you want to find the current, so current is charge divided by time. So the total charge is 60 and the total time is 10. So 60 divided by 10, we'll get 6 ampere or 6 coulomb every second. And opposite, like another example, if there is a current of 150 milliampere, so if it is milliampere, you have to convert into ampere. How to convert milliampere into ampere? So you have to divide by 1000. So 150 divided by 1000, 0.15 ampere. And 3 minutes, time should always be in seconds. If time is in minutes, you have to convert into second. So multiplied by 60, so it will be 180 second. So first convert the time into second, and then convert the ampere, milliampere into ampere, and then use a formula. Current is charge divided by time. So charge is current multiplied by time. So 0.15 multiplied by 180, that is equals to 27 coulombs. Because in this question, we are finding the charge. The previous question, we were finding the current. Is it clear, the two examples? So sometimes they give you a current in microampere. Like example, if I say I have 2 microampere. So 2 microampere, we should convert into ampere. Then what I should do? I should divide by 1 million. If we want to convert the microampere to ampere, we should divide by 1 million. But if we want to convert the milliampere into ampere, we should divide by 1000. Then there are two ways the current we define. There are two types of current. One is called a direct current or DC. Another one is known as alternating current or AC. A direct current, a current which flow in one direction, or the current which does not change the direction, is called DC. And the current which changes the direction we call that as AC, continuously changing the direction. So how we represent like two types of circuits, how we represent two types of current. So we use different symbol for that. Like example, if we have a battery or a cell, that is a source of DC. And whenever we use a circuit, we always use arrows to represent the conventional current. We don't bother about electron flow until unless they mention. So we always talk about, whenever we say direction of the current, it means the direction of conventional current. So direction of the current or direction of conventional current is always from positive to negative. So the current, there are two types, DC direct and AC alternating. So example, you have a lamp. This is a symbol for the lamp. So left hand side we have a positive terminal, right hand side we have a negative terminal. So when the charges start to flow, they flow from positive to negative, and it will continue to flow. It does not change its direction. So when the charges, when they're moving, the conventional current does not change the direction. What we call this type of current, we call that as a DC. But there is another type of a current. The current all by itself changes the direction many times. So when the current changes the direction many times, we call that as AC. how we represent the AC or alternating current or the supply which is providing an alternating current. So we make a wave here. In between we make a wave. You can make it vertical plane, you can make a horizontal wave like this. So this wave, because waves consist of crest and trough, so same idea is that first what happened, on the left hand side we have positive, on the right hand side we have negative. So when the charges will move, they will move from positive to negative. So if the charges start to flow or the charges start to move from positive to negative, and then what happened, by itself it changes the terminal by itself. What happened, first the left hand side was positive and the right hand side was negative, but now what happened, the supply itself changes the direction of the current, and now the current, what happened, it start to move in opposite way, like the right hand side become positive and the left hand side become negative, and the current changes the direction. So when the current changes the direction, what we call this current which is continuously changing the direction, we call that as alternating current. So we have two types of currents. One is alternating, known as AC. Another one is direct, which is known as DC. So there are different supplies, there are different sources of AC and DC. Normally the battery and the cell which we use, that is DC supply. But the at home, the socket, we are using the electric current, the flow of the current in the socket. So that is basically an AC supply, that is changing positive and negative terminal. But the battery or the cell which we are using in our home, in remote control or even a car battery, which is having a same flow every time. Is it clear the difference between the alternating and the direct current? So the example of the DC supplies, like cell or the battery, and the example of the AC supply is the main supply. The electricity which we use in our home, that is actually an AC supply, alternating supply. So it changes the terminal, like what happened, first left hand side is positive, right hand side negative. Next what happened, next moment what happened, it changes the terminal, the right hand side will be positive and the left hand side is negative. That's why it does not make any difference when you plug in any electrical device, like when you're using a plug. So any pin, it will work both ways. If I invert these pins, it will work, because it does not make difference. Alternatingly, one side is positive, the next side is negative, and opposite will happen, and it continuously changes. It changes about 50 times every second. The terminal or end changes 50 times every second. But when we use a battery or the cell, it does not changes the terminal, so the direction of the flow does not change, and we call that as a DC supply. So main supply is the electricity which we are using in our home is an AC supply. But the electricity, the charges which we are using from battery or a cell, they're actually a DC or direct current. Then current in the circuit, and the circuit can be a series circuit or it can be a parallel circuit. What is the meaning of series circuit? Series circuit means the current which is having only one way or one passage for the charges to flow. We call that as a series circuit. But a circuit which is having multiple passages for the charges to flow, Like charges can move many ways, different passages are available for the charges to flow. We call that as parallel circuit. So example, if I draw two lamps or two resistor example, these are the symbols. Later in the topic we'll discuss the symbols. So if we connect two resistors one next to other, and two resistor connected side by side, so when there is only one passage for the charges to flow, what we call this type of passage, we call that as a series. But if there are multiple ways for the charges to flow, charges can flow many ways, what we call that as parallel. So when we work out what happened in a circuit, like if we have a series or a parallel circuit, so current in the circuit, and circuit can be a series circuit or a circuit can be a parallel circuit. So in series circuit, because there is one way for the charges to flow, so the current in the circuit remain same. But in parallel circuit, because there are multiple passages available for the charges to flow, multiple ways are there for the charges to flow. So when the charges are moving through these passages, they divide between the passage. So example, in case of series circuits, example, if I say 2 ampere is passing from here, 2 ampere means 2 coulomb per second. Because there is only one passage for the charges to flow, so how much current will pass through? 2 ampere. Then how much current will pass through the second one? 2 ampere. How much current will pass through the third one? 2 ampere. Because there is only one way for the charges to flow, as there is only one way for the charges to flow, so they will flow in the same manner. So the current in the series is same throughout. It does not change. But what about the parallel? It's like a branches. So if example, if 3 ampere of the current is entering the circuit, so as a result, what happened? Some of the current will pass through this first branch, some of the current will pass through the second one, and some of the current will pass through the third one. If they are identical component, then same amount of division will be there. Like 1 ampere will pass through first branch, 1 ampere will pass through the second, and 1 ampere will pass through the third. And when it will flow out, because 1 ampere passes through this one, 1 ampere passes to the top one and bottom. As a result, when they combine, so there will be again 3 ampere which is coming out. So what happened in parallel circuit? In parallel circuit, the current will divide between the components. So in series, the current throughout the circuit is same, but in parallel, the current divide between the parts which are present in the component. So if I say we have a battery which is connected to 3 resistor, so example, there is a battery which supplies say 2 coulomb of a charge to flow through it, or 3 coulombs of the charge, 3 ampere. When it is flowing, how much current will be there at this point? What will be the value of the current which enter this point? Point A example. If 3 ampere is coming from the battery, So how much current will be there at point A? In series, because this combination is a series combination, and series circuit, the current throughout the circuit is same. So if 3 ampere is coming from here, how much ampere will flow through this point A? This will be 3 ampere, because the current in series, it is always same. So point B, how much current will be there entering point B? So it will be 3 ampere. Then point C, how much current will flow through point C? 3 ampere. Then point D, how much current will flow? 3 ampere. And how much current will return back to the battery? Same 3 ampere will return back to the battery. So the current, which is the flow of the charges, it is always same in the series circuit. In series circuit, the current, each component is same. Is it clear, this example? But if we have a parallel circuit, in parallel circuit, the current divides, and it is not necessary to divide evenly. It can divide uneven. So when we represent the conventional current, it is from positive to negative. Example, at this point 3 ampere of the current is entering. So how much current will be here before the division at this point A? How much current will be there before it divides? How much current is there before it divides? Like 3 ampere is moving. You can see the 3 ampere is moving. So how much current will be there before it divides? So before it divide, it will be 3. But now what happened at this point, the current divide, like example, 2 ampere is moving from here. If 2 ampere out of 3, 2 ampere is moving from here, 0.5 ampere is moving from here. So how much current will be this one? Out of 3, 2 is moving in the upper branch, 0.5 is moving in the center branch. How much current will flow in the lower branch? The total sum should be 3, because if 3 ampere is entering, the 3 ampere should leave. So if 2 ampere is going up, 0.5 ampere is going in the central branch, how much current will flow in the lower branch? So it will be the remaining of that. So this is 2, this will make 2.5. So how much current is left? So this will be 0.5, because the total 3 ampere of the current is divided into 2 ampere, 0.5 ampere and 0.5 ampere. It can divide in any number depending on the components attached. It can be equal division, like we might have 1 1 and 1. That is also a possibility. If all of them are identical components here, so 1 ampere will go through the top branch, 1 ampere in the center, and 1 ampere will be there at the bottom. But if it can be other way around. 1.5 ampere here, 1.5 ampere. So how much will current flow through this bottom branch? If 1.5 ampere up, 1.5 ampere in the central, how much current will flow through the branch at the bottom? The total sum should be 3. So if 1.5 here example and 0.5 here. So 1.5 is going up, 0.5 is in the center. So this total make 2. So how much is left? So left is 1 ampere. So this 1 ampere will flow through this component. 0.5 ampere will flow through this component. And 1.5 will flow through this component. And when they rejoin, like 1.5 from here, 0.5 from here, and 1 from here. So what will be the current? So 1 plus 1.5 plus 0.5. So again, they will make 3 ampere. And as a result, the same 3 ampere will leave the circuit. So the total current which enter the circuit is always same as the total current leave the circuit, but between the component, the current will divide in parallel circuit. Is it clear, this example? So the total current enter the circuit should always be equal to total current leave the circuit. If we have a combination of series and parallel, like a circuit which is having some component series and some component parallel. So in parallel, the current will divide. In series, the current will be same. So example, from the battery, 2 ampere is coming. So how much current will be here? This point. If 2 ampere is flowing, how much current will be there? At the first point. So that will be 2. That's right, good. Then because there is only one way to flow, so the current won't change. So how much current will be there? 2. Before entering the parallel branches, it is 2. But then what happened if out of this 2, example, if 1.5 is moving from here, out of 2, 1.5 move here, how much current will flow down in the bottom branch? So out of 2, 1.5 move in the top branch, so remaining current will flow in the bottom branch. The total current enter the circuit should be equal to total current leave the circuit. As you can see, this is a point. So this is a point. 2 ampere is entering. 2 ampere entered this point. Out of 2, 1.5 is going up. The total should be 2. So out of 2, if 1.5 is going up, how much should go in the bottom branch? The remaining current, it's not like we add them. This is the total current 2 is entering. So out of 2, 1.5 is flowing up. So remaining, how much remain is there? So 0.5 is the remaining current which will go down, because 1.5 plus 0.5 will make the total 2. So 1.5 is going up. So remaining 0.5 ampere will go down. And that 0.5 will flow through this branch. And this 1.5 will flow through this branch. And as a result, when they combine, as you can see, when arrows are coming in, it means they will combine. So 0.5 from here and 1.5 from the top, when they combine, as a result, they will produce a 3 ampere. So as a result, they will produce 2 ampere. So that 2 ampere will return the battery. So the total current which enter the circuit is always same as the total current leave the circuit. Is it clear, this example?